Hi, my name is Gavin. I'm one of the lead designers here at Wildebloom, and today I'm going to be showing you how to sew an invisible zipper. So I have two different methods here. The first is an open top invisible zip, and the next is one where your zipper will be sewn into the seam. This can be used for pockets or even just for a little insert, and this version can be used for the top of your skirt or a trouser, and I can't wait to show you. Let's get started. So in order to sew our invisible zips, we just need 3 ingredients, which is our 2 layers of fabric and our invisible zipper. So we have our garment here with our slit opening, our connected seam at the bottom. What we're going to do is take our invisible zipper. This is the right side of our invisible zipper. This is the wrong side of our invisible zipper. We're going to place this right side touching the right side. We're going to match up the top of our invisible zip to the top of our fabric, put a pin in it. Now, we want to make sure that we have a zipper that's the correct length for our opening. And that position, that notch for where that stitch ends, this position where the stitching ends on our garment, that's going to be the base of our zipper as well. We're going to put a pin at the end. What happens is a lot of times is that our fabric underneath our zipper will bunch up. How we can prevent that is we just use a lot of pins. So every few centimeters along your zipper, you're going to put in a pin. On my zips, I like to put in my pins at a bit of an angle like this on the edge of the tape. It makes it easier to pull them out as I'm sewing. This other side of the fabric right now, it's going to be free. Okay? We're only focusing on one side of the fabric. So we'll begin at the base of our zipper. With these invisible zips, we want to be as close to the zip teeth as possible. So while we sew, we're going to check 2 things. First of all, we're going to put our presser foot over the zip teeth. Our needle is going to wind up exactly along those teeth. So we put in our needle, we do a back tack. Really make sure this other layer of fabric is not trapped under there. So we're going to go ahead and stitch, and the 2 things I'm looking out for, I'm making sure my zip tape is always lined up with the edge of my fabric, and I'm making sure my needle is always going as close to those zip teeth as possible. So we've done our back tack away from the zip pull. What we're going to do is unzip our zipper a bit. Now, without the pulley in the way, we have the freedom to finish our stitch. Otherwise, that zip pull was going to get in our way and cause us trouble. Sink our needle back in the same position. Back tack there again. And make sure that our edge is lined up. Might as well throw a pin in there for good measure. So now that we have one side of our zipper stitched on, we're going to connect our other side in the exact same way. Starting down at the bottom again, it might want to pull a little bit, and that's okay. That's just because down here at the bottom, where the fabric is connected together, we're just going to be shifting that slightly into position. So it's okay if it feels like it's pulling against you a little bit. What we're going to check the most is just make sure those edges match up. Now we have our fabric pinned together. You can see on this side that our edges match up. This time, we're going to go ahead and unzip. The reason we're opening our zip is because we want to sew with our zip tape facing up, looking at us. This is going to reduce the amount of potential for gathering or snagging, whatever sort of bad things can happen to your fabric. If we decide to sew it this way, the foot is going to push the fabric while the feed dogs pull the zip tape, and because the fabric is more flexible than the zip tape is, we're going to wind up pushing the fabric and creating some accidental gathering. With our zip tape open, we're going to do exactly as we did before, which is where I have the zip teeth edge right on that same position that I pointed out before on my foot, and making sure to see two things. The first thing I'm checking is that the zip tape is in line with the edge of my fabric. The second thing I'm checking is that my needle is going as close to these zip teeth as possible. I may have mentioned before that the beginning of a zipper stitch can cause you a bit of trouble from the bulk. So what I like to do sometimes if that happens is I will just lift up my needle and shift forward about 1 stitch length. You can feel everything kind of moving a little bit, and go ahead and hand crank down. I might do that 1 or 2 times. Just like before, as we get close to that zipper, we're going to go ahead and do a back tack. Pull it out. Now we're going to go ahead and close our zip, and we're just going to carry on with our stitch with the zipper out of the way. Go back to the same position where you ended your stitch, forward a couple times, back a couple times. Our invisible zip is now stitched into place, but you may be wondering, why is it not invisible? It is because on a domestic machine, it is not possible to get as close to the edge as you can on other types of machines. And so the best way to deal with this is that we're going to actually press the fabric so that it just kisses right where the zipper meets. Once we press the fabric into place, we're going to add a supporting stitch to make sure that no movement causes it to pull apart. The supporting stitch is optional, but it's going to ensure that your zip remains concealed by the fabric. We'll take this to the iron, and then we'll be back for the final stitch. Now we have our open top invisible zipper. We're gonna push the edge of our fabric, starting on just one side. Push it so that it matches up with the line of our zipper. Sometimes I'll even open up the zipper. That way I can really see when I'm covering the zip. Press. Even flip it around. Pull it towards me. Press. So that side, the teeth are perfectly covered, so I know that side is good. I'm going to transition to the other side. As you can see, my zipper teeth are entirely covered by the fabric. So now we can go ahead and take that back to the machine and do a simple securing stitch. To begin this stitch, I'm actually going to pull my zipper out of the way. Start up here at the top, and I'm going to place my foot so that those zip teeth are not going to get in my way this time, because we don't want any wobble. So I'm going to bring that back. It's just past the 1 cm point. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my needle position, and I'm going to shift it so that my needle is closer to the zipper. In this case, I'm shifting to the left, but if you had it the other way, you shift it to the right. Now I'm going to begin my stitch. Once you're at the bottom here, hand crank to the position so that your foot is going to go right next to the base of that as well. So I'm going to go 1 more stitch. It's a bit of trial and error. Okay, now I've got that in the perfect position. I'm going to hand crank this section, because what can happen if I just go with my pedal? Either I might overshoot the position, or I might even get some wobble from the zip teeth. So I'm just going to hand crank this and take my time. And it looks like I went 3 stitches to the center, so it's probably about another 3 stitches to the correct position on the other side. I'm going to test that. Looks like I need to go about 1 more stitch. I can feel that the zip teeth are still underneath my pedal. I'm going to go 1 more stitch. Okay, now the zip teeth are out of the way. I'm ready to do the stitch on the way up. At the end, back tack. Now we have our fully completed and top stitched open-ended zipper. And we would finish this off either with a waistband or an elastic, facing, whichever way that you'd like. It's just simply folds over on itself. Or you can have your seam allowance up here. And what I do is, if you wind up with a gap up here, you can just attach a hook and eye into this position and it will hold that part closed. So if we're pretending this is maybe a side seam on a dress, we're going to have it stitched up here and up here, and we're going to leave this middle section open. I'm just going to stitch that into place for you now. On your pattern for your actual garment, you're going to make notches that correspond to the size of your zipper. This is going to make it so that when you're sewing, you sew from the edge to the notch and the notch to the edge to make sure that you don't forget and wind up having to unpick and restitch the section. So what's important to note is this gap does not correspond to the entire length of my zip tape. It actually corresponds to the end of my zipper teeth, which is there. You can see how that lines up. And the top of my zip pull, which I'll unzip to show you. Notice how where my zip pull stopper is, that corresponds to the end of my stitch. What that means is that once my zip pull is here, if I made an opening that was all the way to the end of my tape, there's going to be a gap in the garment. I'm showing it to you this way just so you can see how I line it up. When it comes to actually connecting the zipper, I'm going to show you that right now. It's a little bit different. So I'm going to take the right side of my zipper tape, as with the other one. I'm going to put it right sides touching so that it's touching the seam allowance on the right side. What I'm going to check is, if I put my finger right here on the end of the zip tape and I pull back, I should see the final stitch. I know that's my final stitch. I even tug on the other fabric. I get those lined up exactly in the same position. I'm going to change my grip to hold it in place. A lot of small grips when working with zips. Put my pin into place. Boom. I know that's in the right spot now. I'm going to do the same thing with the top. Might pull my zipper back a little bit. I'm going to put this into place. I'm just going to double check. It should line up, and it does. It's a little bit more space than the end of my zip stopper, but that's because my actual zip pull extends a little bit further than that, so it's just going to stop from it getting, bunched up. I'm going to go ahead and pin that into place. Starting from the bottom, I'm going to put in a few more pins. Make sure I'm not pinning through the other piece of fabric. Always check. When I'm pinning, I actually want to be mindful that I don't pin past the zip teeth, because that's just going to mean that I can move the zip pull more freely. I've got 4 pins. For this size zipper, I feel that's enough. You definitely, just as with the other zipper, you want to make sure that you pin frequently. Now it's the same process as the other zip. So making sure my zip teeth are aligned with that edge on my presser foot and that my needle is going as close to them as possible, making sure my edges are lined up. We're going to do the stitch. I'm close to the pole now. I'm going to do my back tack. Don't need that pin. Just like before, I'm going to move the pole out of the way. I'm just going to carry on with the last few stitches. I'll put that pin back in. Once the zip pull is up there, it actually pushes the tape out of the way a bit. So I actually just want to line up the center of my tape when it's in this natural state to that seam. What that means is that it's actually going to be slightly off on the back side, but that ensures that it has enough space for that zip pull to go into final position without causing any disruption. Now we're going to go ahead and attach the other side of our zipper. This side is much easier because our zipper is primarily held in place, our fabric is held in place, and so there's not a whole lot of complications here. Now we have our invisible zip where both ends are closed. We're just going to make sure that the fabric is kissing as we kind of go along. For these examples, I'm using zip tape, which is a different color from my fabric, but obviously in your final piece, your zip tape will match your fabric, which means that it's going to be very, very well hidden. Now we're going to go ahead and do our securing stitch. Now for the closed-ended zip, it's the same thing as the open-ended invisible zip, but this time we're going to sew a box all the way around. So I actually like to start at the bottom, because that just means that I'm going to have all my back stitching down here at the bottom rather than at the top of my zip. Personally, I just think it looks nicer. So to find our position at the bottom, we're going to pull apart, and we know that that is our sort of end point. I'm going to put a little pin there. So we'll start with the edge of our presser foot right on that end point. As you can see, my needle is just next to my presser foot there. And I'm going to sink my needle right into the middle. Just as I did on the other stitch, I'm going to have my needle position shifted so that it's as close to where the zipper is as possible. Now, I think it's going to be about 3 stitches. I'm going to pull out my needle. About 3 stitches, but let's see how it goes. We've got 3, and now I'm going to check. And I'm still on top of the zip teeth, so I'm going to go 1 more stitch. Just like before, the zip teeth kind of feel pressure up against the foot, so they help to guide your stitch, and it's pretty simple. You're going to see the fabric pulling away a little bit, and you're going to be thinking maybe that you need to push it over. It actually is just because of the pressure of your foot, and when you lift the foot off, you're going to see that it naturally covers the zipper. Now the edge of my presser foot is right on that end point, which means I'll just be a couple millimeters away with my needle, so I'm in the perfect position, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch perpendicular. I always like to hand crank on these perpendicular stitches just because with all this bulk, you never know really how the machine is going to react, and stitching by hand just gives you enough control over the machine that you don't wind up in a situation where your stitching gets wobbly, it gets ugly. This maintains a nice clean stitch. Now what I'm really checking is I want my stitch to finish perpendicular to the other one, so I'm really going to get in there. And I see that actually before I lifted my needle, I was in the perfect position. So I'm just going to hold my back tack down before I crank down, and it's going to put my needle right back in the same spot. So when I let go and I rotate, I know I'm perpendicular to that stitch. Now I'm going to finish it off. Back tack. We have a beautiful box stitched around our zipper, which means that now from the tension, it's not going to pull apart like it did before. And as you can see on the back side, we've caught our zipper with the stitching, which means that the zipper is held in place securely.